Hi, it's Jonathan and welcome to this week's Charity Digital Top 3. I hope you all had a really wonderful long bank holiday weekend. I have to say it was really lovely to see the sun, and I think there must be maybe a bit of a record for this country because that was the fourth bank holiday in a row with no rain. But I'm not complaining. But let's move on and talk a bit more about more business-like topics. And first of all, I wanted to highlight the launch of the Product Giving Alliance. This combines Charity Digital, Fair Share, who redistribute food, In-Kind Direct, who redistribute consumer products to deal with a lot of life's essentials like toiletries, cleaning products, toys, clothes, and office supplies, and international health partners who work with medical products and pharmaceuticals. So some really great and important areas of products and services that can help charities a lot. So we've come together both to encourage more donors to give of their products and services, because those can really, really help, and also to facilitate more easy access to charities for those products and services. So there'll be more about that in the future, but I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention today. At this point, I normally talk about our podcasts, but this week I'm actually going to talk about two podcasts. The first was released by Phoenix. Phoenix are one of the largest suppliers of digital technology to the charity sector. And they released a podcast last week called Supporting Charities and Non-Profits During and After the COVID-19 Outbreak. They brought together a really great panel for this. So they got Vincent Richardson. He's the International CTO for Tech for Social Impact at Microsoft Philanthropies. Rosie Slater-Carr, she's the CIO at British Red Cross. Megan Griffiths-Gray, who's the Director of Strategy and Transformation at the NCVO. And Greg Dean, Charity Sector Sales Manager at Phoenix. They cover a really wide range of topics, a lot of very practical advice covered in that as well. So do come via our website and we can point you in the right direction to access that. The second is the latest in the series of COVID pods released by Charity Digital. And this week's was about fundraising in isolation. So we brought together Davinia Batley, the Director of Fundraising and Engagement at Become. Become are a relatively small charity, but they've done some really great work in the area of fundraising. And Susie Eddington, she's the account manager at Just Giving. So this was really focused on a whole lot of practical tips about both marketing and fundraising at this time. So do drop by the Charity Digital website if you'd like to access that. Also last week, we released the latest in our case studies, looking at how different organizations are responding to the COVID outbreak. And this week we focused on the Scouts. They're an entirely face-to-face organization normally, and largely volunteer run as well. So it's a really huge effort for them to pivot their approach and their content. But they did a great job of this, pivoting very rapidly to digital delivery. So you can find out a lot more about how they did that on our website as well. And finally, I want to touch on work from home. So here at Charity Digital, we normally do a couple of offsites a year. We go away, we talk about what we're trying to achieve, what our objectives are, how we're setting about doing those. And generally, we aim to have a super productive session so that we can come back and really accelerate what we're doing. This latest one was scheduled for last week, but obviously we couldn't go off and do that offsite. We're all at our homes at the moment. So we decided to go ahead and run this on a virtual basis. We did this with the use of a lot of Zoom rooms and the use of Miro, where we basically set up independent flip charts, virtual flip charts for each team to work on and then share their output. We had, 3 hours together, some really great discussions, some great outputs, ideas about how we can work more effectively in the current environment as well that came out of it. So I just wanted to say, if you were due to be having any of these types of meetings in your own organizations, don't be scared to do it, go for it. The technology really does support you to have some really productive output. Sure, it's not quite the same as being face-to-face, but you can still work together well to produce some decent output and make it worth your time. So that's all I wanted to say for this week. I hope the coming week is good for all of you, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thanks, goodbye.